Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. It's Scooby-Doo Tuesday, guys. You know what that means? Of course it means we're here continuing the journey of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. This is Season 2, Episode 19, The Devouring. That's a pretty crazy title, The Devouring. I wonder what that means. So last week's episode was pretty interesting for a couple of reasons. Of course, we had one main reason, the ending of the episode, but we had this supposed band that perished in an airplane crash. Turns out they faked their death. They were going to come back within a year. Of course, it didn't end up happening. They were gone for so long, but they came back as these ghost zombie type individuals or whatever, playing this music and causing everybody to start dancing and going crazy and everything. But the main thing is we brought back the Hex Girls in their original outfits when they were originally introduced. It was really cool to have that little moment, and then performing a song, Shaggy and Scooby helping out. It was crazy. It was like, this is fun, whatever. The ending of the episode, because throughout the episode we had Scooby's little girlfriend, of course the dog who was formerly owned by Fred's actual parents before they decided to take her away from them. She was in the hospital after the events of the horrible herd. So throughout this episode, Scooby's visiting her and everything. At the end of the episode, she rises up out of bed after she flatlines in the hospital, says, Nibiru, Nibiru is coming. She speaks this out loud perfectly. Then she falls back down. And then it ends. I'm like, you can't do that. But then again, this show loves doing stuff like that. Like where it has something that occurs, a reveal or something, and then of course, boom, credits. It's so good. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the show. I hate the fact that that's happening, but I've loved the journey. I've loved this show, and I can't wait to see what they do and how they wrap this thing up. So without further ado, guys, let's get into now Season 2, Episode 19 of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, The Devouring. Let's go.
Today we'll be cooking up a batch
Oh,
of goodness.
hello.
Francie Lee Jackson bacon bread pie. Now don't worry, y'all. If this happens at home, just put bacon butter.
How did that come out of the pot? What?
Danger, Kachinga.
Okay. Denied.
I've been locked out of the system. I know.
Well.
You did it on purpose. You're out of control, Professor Pericles. I built Destroido from the ground up while you were cooling your beak in prison. It's time that
She sat up in her hospital bed and spoke. She said, Nibiru is coming.
Hey, maybe Nova's cursed?
This whole town is cursed. We got used to crazy criminals pretending to be monsters all the time. But things are different. For the first time in our history as mystery solvers, we have to consider that something truly supernatural is happening here.
With everything that's happening, it makes you realize how precious life is. It kind of makes you not want to waste time and just tell...
Right now, I guess I feel kind of...
Yes?
hungry.
What? What?
We've got to get rid of all of the food.
Why?
Hi, Kachinga. Charmed, Frederick Jones. Charmed.
Charmed?
Hey, Dr. Spartan.
Hey, let me help you out.
What is with that guy? Doesn't he know that
He's gonna take your pizza. Careful. Or like a pig noise in that too, just now. It's like a sumo wrestler. Yeah. Oh, eating all the pizza.
Curses.
So it's eating all the food, but it ate that woman in the opening of the episode.
That was the gluten demon. If we don't
Gluten
stop
demon?
it, it'll devour the entire food supply. Kachinga and I have had a gluten-free diet for years. It's what makes my muscles so chiseled.
Why is it gluten
like a
specific? I
Greek
don't
god.
know. Anyways.
Yeah.
The gluten demon was a scourge from ancient Egypt through the
Oh my
fall
God.
of Rome, destroying their wheat harvests. There are other demons that have strange affiliations with
I'm pretty sure
food.
just somebody in a
The
costume
asparagus
over
demon,
time
the
just...
dairy demon.
yeah.
I think he can't seem to hold a spear and use modern technology at the same time.
It's because you were shouting at me to take the picture and I got nervous.
We saw things. They have tsetse flies down there the size of eagles. They would stand in front of our hut and watch in horror. Giant flies came at us from all sides. I took down as many
Giant
as I could,
flies?
but it was no use. In the end, they got Mary and...
Actually, she's fine. She's just staying with her mother in Irvine. They're not getting along.
Kachinga,
But he
don't
made up
worry
a
about it.
story.
Mom!
Mom's being attacked. Oh shit, what is he doing?
Sheriff had to go down to the rebuilt Bloody Steak restaurant. That crazy monster attacked there too.
Of course.
Ate everything. I have a special potion that'll stop the gluten demon cold. Learned it
Potion?
from a shaman of the Ukiali.
Kachinga and the girls get the potion. Shaggy and Scooby will eat all the gluten-filled food in town to starve the gluten demon.
And without her, his plans have become quite ludicrous.
Kind of crazy,
Push
yeah.
himself is probably useless.
Oh my god, that's a lot of burgers. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I get he's upset over her leaving, but she did betray him in the episode he was introduced, so.
Brad, Judy, but Pericles has to go.
We're with you, Ricky.
You can count on us.
They look like receipts for a warehouse.
And
Warehouse?
they're all signed AJS.
Albrecht J. Schwartz?
Of course, I own the
Of
place.
course,
now,
okay.
Give me $1 million from insurance. Come on.
Is it strange that an abandoned warehouse in a forgotten part of town has been filled with baking ingredients?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Swartz fellow is the Devouring. Take bags. Ooh. There you go. Wasn't expecting that.
Think Kachinga's gluten-free food really drove the demon off?
Yes.
I'm not so sure what's really going on here.
Now, if that
Oh my
gluten demon wants
God.
his bread, he'll have to come to this bakery, right, Doc? It feels like hours since I've seen you.
That's because it has been
It has been hours for
Well, that would explain it.
Listen,
bread. They're not moving. Wow. It's gonna break out, right?
Things gotten too big.
Damn. Okay, he's pissed.
Just crunched on our friends. Oh, that makes me mad.
There you go. Okay. They're gonna fight him? Oh shit. Oh my god, they're actually gonna sumo wrestle. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, they're destroying shit. Ooh. Oh my god.
Jackson.
What?
Not a big surprise after the work that Kachinga, Daphne, and I did.
But her birth certificate lists her as Agatha Juniper Scholenheimer.
I needed a big comeback. After my cornbread recipe was revealed to have no corn in it, I was ruined. Started destroying every restaurant in town so there'd be no competition when I opened mine.
What is that?
My precious ball!
Mole.
Are you feeling okay?
Not yet. There. I feel better now.
Oh.
Kachinga!
Guys.
Sorry, guys. Looks like you'll have to walk. Okay with us.
You're out of the group.
Oh, Ricky, I put mutated cobra larvae in your spine. Every time I press this button, a little venom is released.
As I expected, another crazy episode of Mystery Incorporated and some returning characters that I wasn't expecting to see ever again, but all of a sudden, they're here. Like the opening of the episode, we had that cook who was a part of that one episode where it's revealed that in the past, her and a bunch of people, including the sheriff, were part of a version of Dungeons and Dragons, like their own version, non-copyrighted, for the show. And then one of the players was messing all of them within their dreams and everything, and she was one of them, and she revealed her recipe or whatever. So she taped, not live filming, which was implied that it was live filming, but she pre-taped with no audience, her cooking and everything, and then she was actually the, as it's called here, the gluten monster, because I have the voice cast pulled up, so I actually have the names and everything, Francine Jackson, whatever her name was, but she was the gluten monster, and I thought at first it was the guy that they ran into when they actually went back to the studio later when they were actually investigating versus trying to find ingredients for some sort of potion. I don't know. But I thought, okay, it's this guy. But maybe that's too obvious. Because we saw in the opening of the episode, the gluten monster ate her. So, okay, so now the gluten monster ate her and is eating all the food that is gluten in the town. And it turns out, no, it's actually her. She's actually the gluten monster. I'm like, how the fuck did it come out of the pot that she was making food out of? Anyways, a lot of questions about that, but apparently it's the special effects. I don't know. But the way we saw it, it just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, so, with all that being said, the reason why she was doing this is because she wanted to come back with this over-the-top dish that sounded, let's be honest, gross. It sounded gross. But she wanted to eat all the gluten and all the food, basically, in different restaurants throughout Crystal Cove. So when she opened her restaurant to make a comeback, she'll be the only restaurant in town, I guess, to be successful, I guess. I don't know. So that was a strange thing to have her in the episodes. I wasn't expecting to see her character again. Then we have another character, which, of course, is Dr. Rick Spartan in Kachinga, not Dr. Rick Spartan's wife, whatever. She wasn't in the episode. They talked about her quite a bit, though, because apparently, and he, of course, the doctor had to make this whole thing about, a story about these flies as big as eagles, and they took her away and all that kind of stuff. They were attacking cows or zebra or whatever, and then they attacked us, and it turns out, no, she's just staying with her mother because she's, I think she's the one who was the monster, the headless horror, whatever it was, in the episode we were introduced to her and Kachinga and Dr. Rick Spartan. She was the one that was actually the monster. So, I don't know, I guess once that occurs, it's kind of hard to go back to that person and still be in love with them, but I guess he still loves her or whatever. But so he was really upset throughout pretty much the whole episode, of course, making up to, and at one point he even said another story or something else that happened to her, and Fred's like, didn't you say that was giant flies? Never mind that. He's just making up stories, make it seem like it's more crazy than actually, oh, she's just with her mother. And that's what Kachinga said, she's with her mother. So I wasn't expecting to see these two characters back at least, especially Dr. Rick Spartan. He's a weird guy, but Fred loves him to death, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, we're going to have this moment, because it kind of ties in a little bit to Fred's personal stuff, because Daphne in this episode, before he shows up, because at the opening of the episode, we see them watching the TV and seeing the televised cast of the gluten monster and all that. Of course, they're watching that show. If they weren't watching it, they would have no idea what's happening in Crystal Cove. I don't think. But before the show, Daphne's like, well, Fred, I think I'm ready, because I don't know, who knows, time's precious and everything, so I'm ready. And then he doesn't say anything about his feelings for her. And then throughout the episode, of course, he sees where Rick Spartan, this guy he cares about and idolizes or whatever, is having issues with talking to his woman, and he's upset and everything. And then he gives him the phone saying, hey, call her. And then he realizes, hey, that kind of ties into what I need. So he just grabs Daphne's hand, and that's pretty much the extent of that for right now. But that's just Fred for you. Fred is not really good. He's not good. He's terrible at giving his, telling his feelings, or telling, that's why I was blanking there for saying, telling his emotions, or, showing affection or whatever. That's just something he just doesn't do. He's a weird dude. He's weird. He's had a weird life, though, right? He thought his dad was his dad. Turns out no, and all that. So, interesting episode for sure in terms of that storyline, where wasn't expecting to see these characters back, and now they're here. And I don't know I guess we won't see them again. It's kind of a strange thing. But the main thing, which, by the way, it is addressed that she woke up, Nova, she woke up and said Nibiru is coming, because Scooby revealed that to them. But yet, besides the mention of that and everything saying, this is a mystery that I don't know what's happening here. And this might be the first time this is actually a supernatural occurrence actually happening here, which I agree. This is definitely far more than what they're expecting. They don't go back to the hospital to talk to Nova or to see if they can get her to speak again. Nothing. They just mention it and move on. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that we still address that point, because, my God, she spoke. And they did address it, but they're not going to the hospital to talk with her to see if she's going to wake up or something, because she fell back asleep, I think, from what I remember. She fell back and closed her eyes again. So, I don't know. Don't know. The other part of the episode, which I think was really interesting, because it kind of goes to show that things are kind of, and this kind of proves once again that I have been making this point for a very long time. You cannot get villains to work together as a team. It just doesn't work. Now, the reason why their Mystery Inc. at a point worked for when it did when they were younger is because they were actually on the good side. Well, Professor Pericles was never on the good side. but you get what I'm saying. Here, they're a bunch of villains, so things are going to start falling apart pretty fast, and it already has, because you had Mr. E, who started off this show as someone who was helping Mr. Inc., our Mr. Inc., right? Scooby and the gang. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to lock Professor Pericles out of the system or whatever, because he's spending too much money, he's going crazy, he's out of line. And then he's like saying, I'm going to, and then there's like a whole argument between him and Professor Pericles over all of this. And Professor Pericles slapped him in the face and told him, I'm in charge and all this kind of stuff. And Mr. E clearly was shown he is scared. So he tells Brad and Judy, which he should not have done this. He told them that he is going to betray Professor Pericles. And they're like, okay, Mr. E, cool. We got your back. No, they don't. And then, I don't know so he put some sort of venom or some sort of thing within his body. He's hitting a button and he's getting hurt in his back or whatever. I don't know what's going on there. All I know is that Professor Pericles is a fucking asshole. This is bad. This is bad. Man. Kind of goes to show the true loyalty of things. But also Mr. E, I feel like, this is too much. Like, we can still go after the treasure, but Professor Pericles gotta get the fuck out of here. No. Turns out you apparently are gonna get the fuck out of here. Professor Pericles is not gonna allow that. Bad. The one thing I also do want to mention real fast, in terms of this episode, was the fact that Shaggy and Scooby got so big. And there was a sumo fight. Because they pretty much established that the gluten monster is kind of a sumo in a sense where he's like stomping its feet in a standing position the way it is. So when Scooby and Shaggy are eating everything and fucking, I'm guessing they ate everything. I don't even know. All I know is that they sumo wrestled the gluten monster. There was such a weird visual. They're destroying cars and shit, but I guess it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Whatever. They were destroying shit. My God. That was fun to watch. Wasn't sure what the hell was going on. Because then again, that trap they had with all the bread and stuff, and then like the actual like trap and stuff like and capturing in the rope or whatever, it didn't work. It didn't work. It's like, okay, Shaggy, Scooby, wasn't planned by the way. Sumo wrestle, attack it, go. Wasn't planned. Anyways, overall, this was definitely an interesting episode. I wasn't expecting the returning characters that we did see, and Professor Pericles pretty much taking over Mystery is no longer in charge. I don't think he never really was in charge. He thought he was, but Professor Pericles is making it apparent that he never was to begin with, and he was anticipating this and all that. I think just Brad and Julie, they literally just follow whoever they think is going to get them to the treasure faster. I'm pretty sure they believe Professor Pericles is going to be the one to do that. So, we'll see. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'm curious to know your thoughts about this episode, guys. Whatever thoughts you have, let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.